Rocks don't usually grab attention, but some look like they belong in myths, paintings, or science fiction. Imagine a mountain that lays stone eggs, cliffs that rise like organ pipes frozen in mid-song, and a cave shaped so perfectly like a snake that locals swear it's a cursed serpent. In one place, layers of stone quietly reveal the moment dinosaurs vanished forever. Elsewhere, a lonely boulder shaped like a turtle sits by turquoise water. And in the desert, a rock so smooth and brown, it's been nicknamed melted chocolate. From scar-like cliffs in Scotland to glowing red dunes that feel more like Mars than Earth, these formations blur the line between nature and imagination. They're strange, beautiful, and absolutely real. Let's dive in and explore the most amazing rock formations you'll ever see. Flysch Formation. On Spain's northern coast, in the Basque country, lies one of Europe's most striking rock formations, the Flysch, stretching nearly 13 kilometers between Zumaia and Deba. These cliffs look like giant stone pages rising from the sea. Scientists explain that the layers formed over 60 million years as sand and clay settled under the ocean before being lifted by shifting tectonic plates. What makes it even more remarkable is that each stripe records Earth's history, including the event 66 million years ago that wiped out the dinosaurs. But the Flysch is not only important to science. In 2016, HBO filmed Game of Thrones here, using it as Dragonstone, home of Daenerys Targaryen. Since then, tourism has grown quickly, with fans eager to stand on the same cliffs seen on screen. Spanish musicians have also chosen the site for music videos, turning this rocky book of Earth into both a natural wonder and a cultural icon. Garni Gorge, Armenia. Just outside Yerevan, Armenia's capital, is Garni Gorge, a place so unusual that locals call it the Symphony of Stones. The cliffs are made of tall basalt columns shaped like the pipes of a giant church organ frozen in place. These hexagonal forms were created thousands of years ago when lava cooled slowly and cracked into neat geometric patterns. Standing at the base feels like stepping into a natural cathedral. The gorge is also home to history. It lies just below the Temple of Garni, the only surviving Greco-Roman temple in Armenia, built in the 1st century AD by King Tiridates I. This rare mix of ancient human architecture and natural volcanic art makes the site feel almost magical. Even today, Armenian musicians perform concerts inside the gorge, using its perfect echo like a natural hall. Recently, travel influencers have made it popular online, with drone shots going viral on Instagram and YouTube. White Pocket, USA. Hidden in Arizona's Vermilion Cliffs National Monument, White Pocket looks like a frozen ocean of swirling stone. The sandstone here has twisted into red, white, and orange patterns that seem almost painted by hand. Scientists believe these shapes formed millions of years ago when sand dunes were buried, compressed, and reshaped by underground water. Unlike its famous neighbor, the Wave, White Pocket doesn't require a lottery permit, which makes it a favorite for adventurous travelers. NASA researchers have even studied the terrain here as an Earth-like model of Martian landscapes, proving it's not just beautiful, but scientifically valuable. Photographers love it too. Its patterns go viral on Instagram, and drone footage makes it look like another planet. Despite its remoteness, more celebrities and travel bloggers are adding it to their desert road trips, making White Pocket one of the most surreal yet underrated natural wonders in America. Chocolate Rock, Pakistan. Along Pakistan's Makran Coastal Highway in Hingol National Park stands a formation locals call the Chocolate Rock. Its rich brown surface and smooth curves make it look like a block of melted chocolate dropped in the desert. The rock was shaped over thousands of years by strong winds and seasonal rains carving into the soft sandstone. What makes it special is the contrast. Dark, chocolate-colored stone rising from pale sand
and a dry, rugged landscape.
The site has become a favorite stop for travelers heading toward Gwadar. Pakistani vloggers and photographers often feature it in their coastal road trip videos, giving the rock unexpected fame on social media. Some even compare it to the famous Chocolate Hills in the Philippines, though this version is sharper, rougher, and surrounded by barren desert. Seen in person, it looks unreal, like nature accidentally created a sweet treat in the middle of one of Pakistan's driest regions. Putangarua Pinnacles, New Zealand. On New Zealand's North Island, the Putangarua Pinnacles rise like ghostly towers of stone and gravel. These sharp columns were formed over millions of years by erosion as rain and floods carved away softer earth, leaving behind tall, spiky pillars. Walking through the valley feels like stepping onto a movie set, because it actually was. Director Peter Jackson filmed the Paths of the Dead scenes here for The Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. The eerie silence, broken only by wind, gives the place a haunting atmosphere. Maori traditions also link the area to ancestral spirits, adding cultural depth to its otherworldly feel. In recent years, drone footage of the pinnacles has gone viral, bringing a surge of tourists eager to walk the same paths as Tolkien's characters. It's both a natural wonder and a piece of cinematic history, making it one of New Zealand's most iconic rock landscapes. Red Dunes, Mexico. In the Mexican state of Hidalgo, you'll find a desert landscape that looks painted in shades of crimson, the Red Dunes of Pacula. These dunes aren't made of ordinary sand. They contain iron-rich minerals that give them their striking red color, glowing especially bright at sunrise and sunset. Geologists say the dunes were shaped by wind erosion over thousands of years, but local legends tell of warriors whose blood stained the land forever. The dunes remain off the usual tourist trail, making them a hidden gem compared to famous deserts like the Sahara. In recent years, however, they've caught more attention after being featured in Mexican travel shows and music videos. Photographers love them for their otherworldly appearance, often comparing the scene to Mars. Some scientists even use the dunes to study how landscapes might look on other planets. Remote but unforgettable, the Red Dunes are one of Mexico's most unusual natural wonders. Honeycomb, weathering Saudi Arabia. Scattered across Saudi Arabia's coastal deserts are rocks carved into honeycomb-like patterns, as if nature had chiseled them into art. This process, called honeycomb weathering, happens when salty winds and water slowly eat into soft stone, leaving behind walls filled with small hexagonal holes. Some of the formations are large enough to walk through, resembling natural sculptures more than random erosion. Ancient travelers along the Red Sea are said to have used these rocks as landmarks in the barren desert. Today, geologists study them as clues to how wind and salt shape landscapes in arid climates. The formations have also become popular on social media, with Saudi tourism boards promoting them as hidden gems beyond the famous empty quarter dunes. Their alien look has even drawn comparisons to sets from Star Wars, giving these rocks both scientific and cultural value. Standing among them feels like walking through an open-air art gallery created entirely by the desert. Hosta Beach Banded Rocks, Scotland. On the Isle of Tiree in Scotland's Inner Hebrides lies Hosta Beach, famous for its striped black and white rocks. These banded stones are made of ancient Lewisian gneiss, some of the oldest rocks on Earth, up to 3 billion years old. Their zebra-like patterns were formed when extreme heat and pressure folded minerals together deep underground, long before life even appeared on the planet. Today, the rocks sit beside turquoise waters and white sand, creating one of the most photogenic beaches in Britain. Locals say the bands look like the Earth's fingerprints, proof of its ancient past. In recent years, the beach has gained attention from travel bloggers and photographers, with images trending on Instagram for their unreal beauty. Unlike crowded beaches, Hosta remains quiet and remote, making it a hidden paradise for those who want both history and scenery in one place. Naka Cave, Thailand. Deep in Phu Lanka National Park in Thailand lies Naka Cave, a rock formation that looks exactly like the scales and body of a giant snake. According to Thai legend, it's the petrified remains of a serpent king punished by the gods. Locals believe the cave is sacred, and thousands of visitors now come each year to pray for good fortune. Scientifically, the snake-like patterns were formed by natural cracks and erosion in sandstone, but the uncanny resemblance keeps the myths alive. In 2020, photos of the cave went viral on Thai social media, drawing national attention and making it a trending travel destination. Pilgrims leave offerings at the cave, and some even claim to have seen snake-like spirits in the area. Whether you see it as geology or mythology, Naka Cave feels like stepping into a living legend, where science and folklore meet in stone. Frankenstein's Stitches, Scotland. On Scotland's Isle of Skye, there's a cliff face that looks like it's been sewn together, earning the eerie nickname Frankenstein's stitches. Long cracks run across slabs of rock, resembling giant scars. Geologists explain it as the result of volcanic activity and centuries of shifting land. But standing there, it feels almost unnatural. The rugged landscape, often shrouded in mist and battered by Atlantic winds, adds to the haunting atmosphere. Local folklore even suggests the rocks were once split by mythical giants. The site became more known in recent years after Sky gained popularity with photographers and filmmakers seeking dramatic backdrops. In fact, Sky's strange rock formations have appeared in films like Prometheus, 2012, and Frankenstein's Stitches is now a hidden gem for geology fans exploring the island. Egg-laying Mountain, China. In China's Guizhou province sits Chandaya, known locally as the Egg-laying Mountain. Every few decades, smooth stone eggs the size of footballs break loose from the cliffs and roll down the slope. Villagers have collected them for centuries, calling them dragon eggs and believing they bring good luck. Scientists suggest the eggs form when harder limestone nodules develop inside softer rock layers, which eventually erode and release the stones. The phenomenon is rare. Around 70 of these eggs have appeared over the last century, and they continue to attract geologists, tourists, and even documentary crews. Chinese media covered it in 2015, when the mountain shed a new batch, sparking debates online about whether it was geology or something supernatural. For locals, though, the mountain remains a sacred site where nature shows off one of its strangest tricks. Organ Pipes National Park, Australia. Just outside Melbourne, Australia, lies Organ Pipes National Park, named after its dramatic cliffs of basalt columns shaped like giant pipe organs. These rocks were formed nearly 1 million years ago when lava from nearby volcanoes cooled slowly, cracking into hexagonal pillars. Walking below them feels like standing inside a massive stone cathedral. The park is small but historically important. Local Aboriginal groups regard the land as sacred, and today, it's a protected reserve where people hike, picnic, and learn about the volcanic history of Victoria. The columns became more widely known after photographers started sharing aerial shots online, showing just how precise and geometric nature can be. In 2023, the park was featured in Australian travel campaigns, highlighting natural wonders near big cities. For geology lovers, it's a glimpse into the volcanic forces that shaped much of the continent, while for casual visitors, it's simply a surreal sight only 20 kilometers from a bustling city. The Turtle-Shaped Rock, Thailand. On the island of Koh Tao in Thailand, there's a giant rock that looks exactly like a turtle resting on the shore. Locals believe it's a guardian of the island, watching over fishermen and travelers. The turtle shape was formed over centuries by waves, wind, and erosion carving the granite. Tourists often hike to the viewpoint where the rock sits, overlooking turquoise waters that make it even more striking. In Thai culture, turtles symbolize long life and protection. So many visitors treat this rock almost like a shrine. Fishermen still tell stories of safe returns after praying here before heading to sea. Koh Tao itself is famous as a diving paradise, and the Turtle Rock has become a must-see landmark for Instagram travelers. Interestingly, some travel blogs compare it to famous turtle-shaped landmarks in Hawaii, showing how different cultures honor nature when it mimics animals. Pillars of Hercules, Morocco. At the gateway of the Mediterranean Sea stand two massive cliffs, known since ancient times as the Pillars of Hercules. On the European side is the Rock of Gibraltar, and across the water in Morocco is Jebel Musa. According to Greek myth, Hercules tore through a mountain during one of his legendary labors, splitting it in two and creating the Strait of Gibraltar. For centuries, sailors believed these cliffs marked the edge of the known world. Today, Gibraltar is a British territory famous for its Barbary macaques, while Jebel Musa remains a scenic but less explored peak. The pillars are not just legendary, they are geopolitical landmarks. Control of the strait has been crucial in history, from Phoenician traders to World War II naval battles. Even now, the site appears in modern culture, with Gibraltar often used in films and literature as a symbol of strength and endurance.